Hey guys, it's Dave Salinas over at the Camera Exchange, and today we're going over some supplies that you're going to need to develop your 35mm film at home. So first things first, you're going to need the C41 press kit. So this envelope here has everything that you would need to do it, to do all the chemicals yourself. It's got the developer, the Blix, and the stabilizer. They are in powder form, so you will need some containers to mix it with. Next thing I would suggest is having a dark bag handy is always really good because you're going to want to load your film in total darkness. You can't have any kind of ambient light or anything like that. So loading your film in total darkness with a changing bag is always nice. So you would load it into your tank, of course with your 35mm reels, and then you're going to be set. Also having your thermometer handy, as this kit is going to be 102 degrees spec temperature, so you're going to want to have a thermometer handy to check your temperatures as you get ready. Okay, so with the powdered chemicals, I would suggest using like water bottles or something like that with a lid that's going to be pretty light tight. You're going to want to pour the water halfway in, then the powder on top of it. I like to give it a little like shake, like a martini shaker. You're going to want to dissolve all the granules in it. So each step, you're going to make the chemistry here, and your film is going to be loaded. And then once your temperature gets on spec, then you're going to start the developing process in your tank. Okay, so the way I like to do it, I like to load it in, or I like to mix the press kit in water bottles and put the lid on them. And then I put it in a bowl of like really hot water straight from the tap, the hottest that your tap water will go. Let that sit there for maybe 5-10 minutes max. Always have a thermometer ready to check the temperature, and before you know it, your temperature is going to be right on spec and you'll be ready to go. Okay, so for this specific press kit here, this C41 press kit, the spec temperature is going to be 102 degrees. So once it reaches that, you're going to want to go ahead and do the process of all the developing and Blix and stabilization for your film. Okay, and then also the spec rolls on this is like 8 to 10 rolls that you would get out of this kit. You can stretch that to upwards of 15, maybe 20, but I would suggest if you're going to do something like that, have your rolls shot and ready, and if you do them consecutively, it's going to help in your process. The longer you wait, so it's going to lower like the color pop, and it's going to add a little bit of grain to it. So for instance, if you have 20 rolls and you're going to develop them 10 this week and then 10 next week, the latter week you'll notice a little bit more grain and the colors won't be quite as punchy. Okay, it's pretty simple process. All the instructions are laid out, the mixing ratios and everything else that you would need. Basically, guys, if you could make a frozen pizza, you could develop your own 35mm film at home. It's just that simple. Okay guys, and there you have it. Everything that you need to develop 35mm film at home. Tune in next time where we actually show you a step-by-step process, more hands-on, on basically doing everything that we just discussed here. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.